So hi everyone, today we have a very special video. So I'm with Catherina now, and she is going to share with us 3 mind-setting tips to get your dream job. So to start, let me introduce Catherina. She is a Singaporean who lived in Hong Kong for around 17 years now, calling Hong Kong her home. She also she possesses 15 years of recruitment experience working with MNC, startup, and professional firm, hiring middle to senior level role. And recently, congratulations, Catherina, she awarded with Hong Kong Living Magazine as the top 50 influencer for 2020. She's also a founder of seven-figure Career Changemaker. So without further ado, I hand over to you.
Thank you so much, Montana. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for the kind introduction. Yeah, winning the award was it's good. It's good, but it's something that I actually visualize, which I probably will teach you all guys about the 3 tips we're going to talk about later.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
So you visualize this award. Tell me the story.
Oh, okay. So, as Montana has mentioned, that I have actually been in recruitment for 15 years, and then I actually pivoted only in mid 2018 to go into coaching. So then I founded my company, which is a 7-figure career change maker. So whereby helping people to really accelerate in their careers and to not only get the job that they want, or to have clarity in knowing what they want, and also to get the kind of package that they want in their life, and promotions. Because I see that there's a huge gap in the market, because I've interviewed so many professionals in my career history. A lot of them do not know how to pivot in their careers or get to the goals that they want to, or they just think about it but they don't do anything about it, or they don't have confidence. So there's a lot of reasons what is holding a lot of people back. So for myself, I actually started out at a very low salary as a recruiter, and then but I also told myself that this is just the beginning, right? Because at that point I really know what I wanted. So I actually moved up the corporate ladder pretty quickly, and as a recruiter we are sales as well, right? So I think my base salary also increased very, very fast, and I think my total comp actually went up, I think, more than 500% in just a few years.
Wow,
yeah,
500%.
Yeah, 500%.
Yeah.
So that is quite an achievement, I have to say.
Yes.
And that was where I told myself, because I told myself I want to make my first million, right? So I really make that conscious decision to do it. So for the award thing, well, this year I made a conscious decision that I really want to be very visible out on my different platforms. And I'm not a tech person at all, because as a recruiter, we don't really need to do so much tech. We are really a lot on how we talk, right? How we influence people. But then this year, when you go into coaching, I know that I need to really build out all my platforms so that I can be visible to people. And of course, I also, invest in myself and learn. I have coaches to help me as well. And then, so I started to build. It's not easy. It was quite a journey for me, and now I'm still learning. But basically what I did is I started to build the different platforms, and also I'm quite visible on LinkedIn as well. And I think that is where and talking about how I got the award is really funny, right? Because around June this year, I have an Instagram account. So on my Instagram, I actually told my audience that I put a picture of myself on a magazine as the front cover. I just said that one day this is going to happen. I will be on a magazine to share and inspire people about their careers, their lives, and also to empower women, right? So I just made that statement. I think a lot of people like it. Some people say that's a very good way of visualization, right? So after I put that statement out to let everybody know that this will happen, and I was really surprised that a few months later, I was actually approached by the magazine saying that they are looking for people in the entrepreneur space who are in the coaching category, which is a new category as well. So I'm one of the nominees. but to be nominees first. Then after that, they will choose out of nominees how many they will be finally to be nominated in the top 50.
Wow.
So I was like, okay. So I didn't expect I was going to get it. Then after that, 2 weeks later, they say, oh, congratulations, you've been nominated as the top 50. So I was like, oh my God, this is like, oh dear, this is really coming true,
Yes.
Yeah, my dream come true. So I think it's also partly of the way I visualize. And I actually teach my team as well when I was a recruiter, about how they can use certain techniques. And
Could
so
you
some of them
teach
use
us the technique?
Sure. See, this technique is something that you will take practice, and also it's not like you can do it. You can practice it, but it will take time to really, because you have to believe in it as well.
Yes.
Yeah. You need to believe in it. So visualization is one mind setting techniques that I really work with my clients, like those clients that they come to me, that they need help in their careers, what they can do. So basically what I do is to really help them to see potential in themselves. So firstly, what you need to know is to know, don't always think about your past. The past is over, right?
Yes.
Maybe you could have a glorious career in the past. Okay, that's over. Don't sit down and dwell about it, but why am I like that now? Or you are still not able to get to where you want, and you keep thinking like you can't get what you want. You need to put all that aside and just think of the present and think of your future. So think of the future is like, what do I really want? And what is it that I really want in my career? So maybe for some of you here, maybe it's that, you really want to, okay, I actually recruit a lot of HR professionals and also professional support people, like people who are very senior office managers or customer service people, or so I also do some of the C-level. But the thing is, you need to ask yourself where you aspire to be in maybe 3-4 years time in your career. What do you want in that career? So you need to consistently visualize that. So you may visualize it in your mind, or you can visualize it writing it down. But I think visualization is really what you see, right? So you have to see it like a video to see your future life. What is it going to be like? And then when you look at it, you have to really see it very clearly. Okay, but maybe the first time doing it, it may not be so clear because you are, you probably think that, oh, it's, I'm not very sure exactly what I want. It's okay, but when you keep doing it, you start to be clearer, and the picture will get clearer as you go along. Yeah, because some people don't have clarity, right?
I actually, I really agree with you. One thing is, and it's really, really the past is past. It's so important to be present and focus on the future. Right. And ask the questions, what do I really want and where do we aspire to be, right? And that is a powerful questions. And for the visualization part, I actually do something very similar, because I think because you and I have something similar, is you are also NLP practitioner. So I also practice NLP technique a lot. Right. And then one of the things that I use to set my goal is really, really similar. So basically, I really have to imagine, visualize the picture. I have to make the picture so vivid, like so colorful, so big, and I can feel it, feel the emotion when I achieve that. And I also can hear the voice and see all these things in color. I find that the visualization part, which work for me, if I'm able to visualize it really specific, be more real, it works better. What do you think?
Yeah, I think visualization, I think a lot of people think that visualization is just like, oh, I see a picture and that's it. You know what I mean? Visualization is actually, you have to, something that you have to really believe in it, because if you don't believe in it, it will not work. Yeah, you have to, in your core, every part of your body, you need to believe this is going to happen. So when you believe that this is going to happen, it will happen.
Okay.
And
so
actually,
first
I think
it's believing in it.
Yeah, you gotta
and
believe in it.
be consistent and do it very often. How often should that be? Like,
You can do it actually every day is great. Like if you want to you want to get muscles, you need to build muscles, right? You need to exercise regularly as well. It's not like once a week, once a month, you're not going to see the muscles, right? So you need to do the same thing, with visualization is you have to do it every day to keep practicing and keep practicing. Then you can see the effect. Then you can see what is going to happen in your own life.
all right. Oh, very interesting. And when do we know that we can stop the visualization part of that particular dream? Like, or we keep doing it until we really get there?
Yeah, you keep doing it until you get there. Then after that, maybe you want something else in your life. You
And do
visualize
another
something else,
visualization.
right?
I see. Thank you so much.
Yes, no problem.
So the first tip is visualization.
Yes, yes. I want to also share a story. I remember when I was still in school. I was in secondary school at the time, probably I was around 12, 13 years old. So now at that time, I don't know what's visualization. All these things were not known yet, right? It's quite a long time. But I remember that I was in there's this group, this Broadway musical, because I love to perform. I love to be on stage. Okay, but there was no opportunity given to me. So at that time, there was this group of girls. They were doing a musical play, and they always after school they were practice, right? So after school, I'll go and watch them. And I was like, how I wish that I could be in their group, right? So they every day they are practicing their steps. So I would just watch them. I just sit there quietly and watch them, at the backstage and watch them what they're doing. Every day I go home, I actually practice all those steps. I actually visualize that I am on stage, and I start doing all those steps, learning, like pretending like I am actually one of them, and I am actually in that, and it's so strange because I keep doing it, keep visualizing that that's going to be me. And then one day, I think somebody backed out in the team. Out of the 4 girls, somebody suddenly cannot continue anymore. So, and they were all like panicking because they need to find somebody ASAP to find a substitute, but they do not know who, right? And I was like, hey, hi, me. So because I do not know them, they were from another class, right? So I introduced myself, and then there's like, oh, so we have to teach you steps. I said, you don't have to, because I remember all the steps. So I had to do an audition, right? So, and then they were like, wow, how come you remember everything? Because I have been visualizing myself on stage, and I've been practicing all the steps, right? So this is like, and then they're like, oh, okay, all right, you're on it, you're gonna get the part. So I got to perform, and I visualized it, and or you can say that I wanted it so much, it actually happened.
Wow, that story is so inspiring because it's actually your commitment, your dedications, and you just do it, even without knowing that you have this opportunity or not. You are not just thinking; you are taking really big actions.
Exactly. So everybody can have what they want in life. It's a matter of whether you really want it or you just say it. If you really want it, then you have to do something about it, right?
Yes.
You have to feel it, you have to believe it, you have to work towards it.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't get that. I didn't get that 500% increment in my comm just like that. It's because I really, really wanted. I had a goal. I was very, very clear on my goal. I just, re-engineer it and really focus on working towards it.
All right. Very nice. So, shall we move on to your second tips?
Oh, sure. Second tip. Sorry, talk too much there.
No. I love all your story.
Oh, thank you. Okay, the second tip is writing it down. Okay, so one is visualization, right? Visualization is what you see. Yes. Writing down is also really internalizing it. Okay, so when you internalize it and you write it down, you can maybe from there create that visualization. Because some people, in NLP we talk about kinesthetic, and we talk about everybody's different, right? Some people are more on the feelings, some people are more visual. So everyone is different. So the writing down is when you write it down, you can also internalize things and you can have a clearer picture of exactly what you want. Okay, so let's say if what right now is about your career, maybe you are struggling to find a job, right? So you do not know what are the things that you need to do to step up. What are the things that you need to do? So why don't you write it down? Write it down, like what are things that you will need to do to get to your desired goal. And then, so write down, and what kind of jobs are you looking for? I think a lot of candidates, when they look for jobs, they don't really know what they're looking for, or they just try everything out there in the market, which is actually will
like
sabotage you
fishing.
back.
Yeah.
Because it's not right. Even in sales, right? We need to have a target. So you need to also target your audience, which means your potential clients. What kind of clients are you looking for? What kind of jobs you're looking for? What do you actually want? So you need to write down your plan. Because when there's no plan, there's no clarity. When you don't know what you want, you will struggle, right?
Yeah.
So so it's not a numbers game anymore. It's not like you send 100 resumes, you will definitely get one person calling you. Because I have clients that come to me because they were struggling, but they have sent like 100 over resumes, not even one response. But when I changed the tactic with them, I changed their mindset, suddenly they start getting interviews. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's not magic, actually. It's really because of what your vibration is, what you attract as well. And there needs to be a clearer game plan.
So when you mentioned about writing it down, would that like really need to be by word, or you can draw it?
Writing it down, okay. Writing it down means basically you are putting it in your journal, right? So you can draw it and with words. Because some people are very good at drawing, right? So they can draw, and as they're drawing, you're actually visualizing it too. See, because these two all correlates together. So there's some connection to when you draw, you write, and then you visualize. But if you can do all this few, it becomes very powerful. So for me, I'm not somebody who loves drawing. I'm not good at drawing. I like to write, right? So I will write things that I feel that, okay, what are things that I really want? And then I'll paste it somewhere. And then I look at it every day.
Oh, okay. So you place it somewhere and you look at it every day.
Yeah.
Similar to visualization, it's reminding you that this is the goal and you will go toward that direction every day.
Yeah. So so when you write, is basically the writing is just to, you can write two things, right? The first thing that you can write is more like an affirmation of what you want. You can paste it somewhere so you can look at it every day, right? If somebody like sometimes people they always feel that they're not good enough, or they feel that they're not confident, then you have to write something that is going to affirm you, that believes that you are good enough, or that you are, you're going to get a great job, or I'm going to have a great relationship with my bosses. If let's say you don't have one, right? So you need to change your thought patterns by writing it, saying the things that you want in your life.
Yeah.
Right? You can also write your plan of what you need to do as well, because we need to know what we want. So by writing it, you can write what are the things that you need to do.
With that, I just have one thing add on, because sometimes I also realize that people quite often they say what they want, right? But quite often when they write it or when they say it in a negative terms, and that is not working. Like some people say, instead of they want to get their dream job, they are actually saying that, oh, I don't want to get laid off. So it's a negative terms, right? That, what do you think about that?
Oh, okay. I know where you're coming from. Talking about the law of that's a little bit on the law of attraction, where you say that everything you talk about the positive side of the things as well. Yes, you can do that as well. I mean, if you keep saying that, they do have this theory that say when you keep saying things that you don't want, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want a nasty boss again, then somehow you will attract another nasty boss again.
You know what I mean?
Or I don't want this kind of relationship anymore. I don't want this kind of guy anymore, this kind of girlfriend anymore. Then somehow the next time you get, it's the same one again. You know what I mean? Because they say that when you keep saying something you don't want, you keep thinking about it, then it comes back to the same one again.
Yeah. So I do think it's important to, is it important to write
yes,
it
when you
positive
write
term
it,
or?
you write it is, of course, that's why I say when you write what are the things you want. Right, write the things that what you want in your life, right? What is it that you really want in your life? Like if you want this kind of job, what kind of boss that you want, what kind of, so you write the things that you want. Not write the things that you don't want. What the things that you want. So because when you write what you think you want, you can visualize it better because you think it's a prettier picture, right? Because when you think of something you don't want, it will not be such a pretty picture because
not so
it's
inspiring,
something
right?
Yeah, it's a bit negative, right? Oh, I don't want this. I don't want that. Then you already don't feel good. But when you want, you will be smiling. And that's where your visualization can work better because that is the picture that you actually really want. Yeah. You can see yourself, like, let's say if you want, it can be anything in life. Let's say if you want this kind of relationship if you're single, you always wanted to have this kind of partner. You can visualize that. Actually, I taught a few of my friends to do that and it worked. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Actually, it worked for me as well. So the visualization is very, very powerful. So I actually taught one of my team member to do it, and she's like, "Wow, Kat, that's so powerful what you're teaching me." So some of them, of course, they don't believe. Then timing is not right. But those people who really believe in it, because you have to believe in it, right? You have to believe in it, and when you believe in it, then, and of course, the things that you want has to be attainable. Don't say that I want to have 100 million when now you don't even have 1 million or something like that, right? Because it's like so far-fetched. Yeah, it has to be realistic because then you will believe in it more. Because if you don't even believe it and you say you want it, then it's not going to happen.
So to summarize, the first one is visualizations, and the second tip is really write it down.
Yes.
How about your third mind-setting tips?
Okay, so the third mind-setting tip is, of course, you need to take action, right? So you already got the visualization. You know what is it that the future that you really want. And then you also have been writing it down. Some of you could be writing down with words and pictures. Some of you could be just writing it down and internalizing it. So now what you need to do is start to take action, right? What are the things, if you want these things, how and what should you be doing to get to your goals? You cannot just sit there and just daydream about it, because you also have to go with the flow, right? So for example, if let's say now you visualize yourself maybe getting that, if you're not at that 7-figure, you are looking to earn a 7-figure, then how are you going to get there? What are the things that you need to do in your career, in your life? Do you need to upgrade your skills? Or do you need to be more interactive with your bosses? Do you need to be more visible to bosses as well? Because there's a lot of people that are very good at what they do, but nobody knows because they're so quiet. So maybe what do you think you need to do to step up in your career? Yeah. So these are the things that you need to ask yourself. What are the actions that I need to take to get myself there? So maybe I give you an example of myself. Right? Again, all right. So for me, it's I made a goal because when I came to Hong Kong, and I look at my bank account, and I was like, oh my God, I don't really have a lot of money actually. Even though I've worked for a few years, I started working really young. I've done a lot of this. I've done network marketing. I've make pretty good money as well. But I don't really have savings because at the time I'm not good with money management. I never think about that far. I just kind of stroll through
when we was young.
Young, right? Then I just look, and maybe because it's the Hong Kong vibe or the water, I don't know. Suddenly it's like a wake-up call, and I just look at my bank account like, oh my God, this is not good. I need to change it. And then I told myself I have a goal, right? The goal is I'm going to make sure that I'm going to start at least having some money because I think maybe it's a security thing. I guess for women, we all need to have that security. And when I got into this sales job, I took a very low salary. I think I only took like 12,000 as a base, and it was a low salary. And then, but it was very hard because I don't have any sales experience. I don't have any recruitment experience. But I think they hired me because I was quite good at talking. And I think they liked my personality as well. And that's where interviewing techniques come in, right? How you can impress your interviewers. There's a technique to it as well. So then, anyhow, I got that job and I worked very hard. So I told myself that I want to make $1 million. At least that is my goal. I want to make at least a decent salary and a decent at least my bank account is not going to be so miserable as it is right now. So what I did is I know that I'm very new in this industry and I'm new to the game, but I will have to put in more effort than anyone else. So I really, I started to take in jobs that nobody wants to, like a lot of clients which nobody heard of, or they don't really think that it's not a fillable job. I'll take it, right? I take it because I want to get the experience and I want to build my client base. And I believe that sometimes you think it's not a good client, it can turn out to be a great client. And that has happened to me as well. So it's a belief system, right? It's how much you believe in it. And of course, I put in more hours to learn the trade than other hours because I need to catch up with other people. So even weekends, I actually did come back just to learn the system and stuff like that. So what I did was I actually took action to get to my goal. Yeah. And then when I started to see the results after 7 months, when I really started to accelerate a little bit, that is where I also start talking to my bosses that, and I probably need a higher base. And that's where, when you become, and I know how it works with sales, right? When you become a better performer, you always have more say. You always can ask for the things that you want. They will give it to you. So when I know how it works, then I work to my advantage. So my goal is to become a good biller, to help more people get jobs, to work with good clients, and then that's where I can ask for better pay, better commission structure, and stuff like that. So that's how I get to my goal, in just that few years, So I think in life, everybody can get to their goals. It's just sometimes people do not know how, and they don't believe they can. Right? I wouldn't, if I didn't believe that I could have gone, get 500% increment so fast in total comp, I probably would not be sitting here coaching people, right? But because I believe it, I really believe it. And I've actually, coached a few of my team members. Some of them became top performers as well because I trained them as well. Yeah.
So I see through your stories, your own sharing, right? The mindset is key. And at the same time, you really take tremendous actions, and really until you get the result. And you don't stop there, because once you get the result, you also continue fight for it. Like you will go and ask your boss to get a better pay for you. And I find that quite often, especially as a woman leader, sometimes it's pretty common that people don't ask. They just wait and hope and wish the company will treat them fairly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've coached so many clients, candidates. Sometimes I look at their resume. Some of them I get I'm really very shocked. But of course, at that time, I'm not a coach. My role is to place people, so I'm not in that position to say so much as yet, right? I don't have that time. But sometimes I do. I always make sure that every candidate that I meet, if there's something that I feel that they need to improve on, I will always leaving my office with something to take away, something that they can hopefully can plant a seed in their head. Like some candidates, especially actually more women, because more women than men have these issues, but because maybe a majority of my candidates and clients are women, like they can take the same salary again and again, even they change job. They probably, maybe the most they get 2%, 3% increment. And over 10 years, there's not much changes in their salary, even though they have moved job. So this is really limiting belief. And this is no confidence in yourself. You know what I mean? Because they want it, but they don't dare to ask. And even when negotiating, sometimes I get very worried when my candidates, suddenly the client offer them and they don't want to go through me because they know I will always fight for a good package for my candidate. But if the candidate were to fight for their own package with the client, when maybe towards the final interview and they give them an offer, they will just accept it. But after that, they'll call me, can you help me to get more? They regret it, right? So that's again where I learned my mistake as well. So I always, sometimes before when it's already on final, I will ask them, you need to think through what you really want. And sometimes I coach them because if I know this client have this habit of giving an offer without going through me because they don't want to go through me, I will really sit down and work with my candidate. So that they know how to negotiate.
We must, as a woman, I also believe that we must value ourselves. If we don't value ourselves, others will value us as well.
Exactly. You must, if you want it, you need to show that you want it because nobody knows it because you're not showing it, right? I don't mean to be forceful. What I mean is influence. Right? Even we in sales, confidence. Right? Yeah, you have to be confident. I've worked with some really, really tough clients in my career history. I've worked with so many different clients. Some of them are very nasty, but you need to be very firm. You need to know where you stand, how you handle this client. That's how these clients become my very good clients. So it's all about this kind of skills. If you learn it, it carries with you in your life, right? And if you have kids, you need to teach them this kind of thing. You need to master this kind of thing in them, which is communication skills. It is selling skills, and influence. So these are all very important because it really can help you, when you want to take action and get to your goals.
Wonderful. Those skills, I can see that it's so powerful and so useful because it applies to work and also it applies to home as well. We may need to influence also our partner in some of the major family decisions, right?
Yeah, and some women actually are very good at influencing their partners, but when it comes to career, somehow they're very different. They may know how to influence partner. Oh, I want him to get me the LV bag. How am I going to get him to get me the LV bag? And then they will think of ways and strategies to do it. And then the husband will oh, okay, I'll give you the LV bag. Just giving an example. But when it comes to their career, somehow they don't apply the same techniques. They don't know how. Yeah, you know what I mean? But actually all these techniques can be applied into everything, even to your kids. How you want your kids to do well, or how you want your kids to be a better kid. It's all NLP we teach, right? It's a lot about influencing, and it's also a lot about you believing, that you can get to that goal.
So wow, wonderful. So we must continue to invest in ourselves, in our skills. Get a coach, get a trainer.
Yes.
So
coaching, getting trainer is important.
Any last word to all of our audience?
Any last words? I think I just want to say to every one of you out there, if any one of you is struggling in your career right now, or maybe in your life, because I do feel everything is connected, you need to firstly, tell yourself that, you can, this soon will pass. And whatever struggles you're going through is an experience, but you have to learn from it as well. And what are the things that you're doing wrong? You have to change it. Right? Because awareness is very important. If you don't have awareness, you cannot change, and then you cannot have a better life or a better career. So you need to be aware of what is holding you back, what's stopping you. If you're doing things the same way and not getting the results, don't you think it's time to change? Don't you think it's time to maybe do it a different way, right? Because no point hitting on the wall 10 times and you can't go through, right? So you have to change. So awareness is always very important before anything can happen in your life.
So thank you once again, Catherina. So we are going to say final goodbye here, and really appreciate your time and your work that you bring. And by the way, I will post your YouTube channel. I know that you have LinkedIn and IG in the description below. So please check it out and follow Catherina as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.